Welcome to the Startup Grind.
What else? Oh, maybe one thing I was talking to. This is maybe more. So we're about 170, 180 people right now, and it's been a really, really fun ride of like going from like 2 to 180 people. Like I've never done that before. I've never worked in a company that has more than 3 people, I think, before this. So I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's been really, really fun to try and figure that out. And I think we've done a pretty good job at it. But one thing, so I was talking to a friend last night. They're growing their company quite a lot, and we were talking about how to be a good leader for a larger group of people, and sort of just how to think about it. And I realized one thing then that I wish I'd done a little bit differently, and I'll see if I can explain it. It's like I believe a lot in this kind of model of a company where, as the CEO, you're not like this kind of command and conquer company where like you're just saying go do this, I have all the answers, we're going to do this thing. Now you organization like go out and execute. And like I don't believe in that model very much. It works for some companies. It can be a very like fast way of doing things, but like I don't like it so much. I think much more of the CEO role as more of a curator. You get a lot of good input from everybody, and your job is kind of to sit at the point where you can see all of these things from the best perspective and sort of help piece things together. So I kind of like half jokingly with a lot of people say that my job is basically like to be the assistant for the rest of the company. Like my job is to make sure that like you have what you need, that it's and basically you have everything you need to kick ass. Like that's my job. If you don't have that, then let me know because I'm not doing my job. So that whole idea of being like, a friend of mine calls it like the upside down pyramid, where basically you're there to like enable others, and that I think is the right one. However, there's one thing that I did wrong along the way was to think of that and assume that when a problem occurs, like if you're scaling a company fast, there will be a lot of problems, and they're really fun to try and solve. But when a problem arises, you kind of like you often take it on and say, hey, this is my fault. So I like the sort of like leadership mentality of everything that goes well is somebody else's credit. Everything that fucks up is basically my fault. And that works quite well. The thing that doesn't work with it is that if things go bad and you jump in and you want to try and fix it for everybody else, you kind of like get into this mode of like, oh, you have an issue there. Okay, I'm going to go and fix that now because that's my responsibility to make sure everything's fixed. What you're doing when you're doing that is that you're not empowering other people to fix these things themselves. So you're actually going against your own model of trying to help others be empowered and do their thing. So I hope that kind of makes sense. If you're growing fast, adding a lot of people, you may run into that. But I wish I'd understood a little bit earlier that my initial reaction to jump in and try and help people with stuff and fix things is not always the best way of actually being able to enable people and to help them.